The lions are snoring, wrapped up in a tight, cuddly heap. How come you could do all this great shit, but you can't lie the fuck down and sleep?
Because sleep is for the weak.
Ooh, bet.
Well, then
About
I'm
the next
weak.
story again?
And what's wrong with
Shadow,
that?
see what happens.
Yeah, start over again.
No, we're continuing.
Okay, see what
But
is.
I'm weak. And what's wrong with that?
The seeds
boy,
slumber
boy,
beneath the
boy,
earth
boy.
now. The crops that the
damn it.
farmers will reap. No more questions. This interview's over. I've got 2 words for you, kid. Fucking sleep.
Kentucky Fried Chicken sleep.
The tiger reclines
Stop
in the simmering
it.
jungle.
The shipping
The
story.
sparrow has silenced their sheep. Fuck your stuff there. I ain't getting you shit. Close your eyes. Cut the crap. Sleep.
Stop it.
The flowers doze in the low meadows, and high on the mountains so my life is a failure. I'm a terrible parent. Stop fucking with me, please. It's sleep. The giant penguins of Madagascar are snoozing as I lie here and openly weep. Sure, fine, whatever. I'll get you some milk. Who the fuck cares? You're not gonna sleep.
Smushy?
Oh yeah, small.
This room is all I can remember.
You know who Smushy is?
She went to sleep.
You win. You escape. You run down the hall as I nod the fuck off to sleep. Weary and dazed, I awaken to find your eyes shut, so I keep my fingers crossed tight as I tiptoe away and pray that you're fucking asleep. We're finally watching a movie. Popcorn's in the microwave. Beep! Aw, shit. God damn it. You gotta be kidding. Come on. Go the fuck back to sleep. The end.
And that concludes
And
the
that was
Wow.
story
That was
time with
beautiful.
Fighter.
I love that.
Wow.
I hope you heard
Yes,
that
thank
well.
you very much.
Low key, that actually got me sleepy.
Now go the fuck to sleep.
Yes. Go sleep.
Hey, Ozzy.
Go the frick to sleep, man.
Oh my god,
damn it.
so fucking sleep.
Was it funny how I ran through you guys while saying go the fuck to sleep, mate?
It was a little bit. Hmm.
Have a look at this.
Actually, this takes me back to my early days of VR chat. Literally,
SJ,
when I was still discovering.
what if they made a new Hat World?
That would be
I'm sure they did, like version 2.
No,
Wait,
imagine-
didn't
what
we
if
look
they
at that
made a
one?
What if they made a version 3?
Go to fucking
Oh
sleep,
my god,
mate.
we will check it out. But, anyways, like I was saying, the early days of VR chat, when I was just discovering the game and discovering what I could do with it, I was literally just going around. I went to the Gala Night world often, and I would get onto my microphone with my pop filter, all the fancy microphone shit, and I just read stories.
Transform. Do this for a sec.
I did quite a few creepypastas, but yeah, there was a few others that I wrote too.
Okay, then
So I
read
was
another
about
story
to
then.
say. Yes, I was about to say.
Xerix, clip
We
it.
can do another story, but this one is not necessarily not safe for stream, but
Oh, good. Read me 50 Shades
younger
of Grey.
viewers younger viewers may get a bit creeped out and queasy
Is
about
it?
these kind of stories.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of going to sleep, it's 9:45 in the afternoon.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Unless you're like 8.
So like in the morning.
Ozzy, what's up?
It almost
Transform is trying to fill my
Whoa,
stream with
it's on
bouncing
desktop.
boobs.
Yes.
Did you get the
Hello.
did you get your thing else?
No, come back here.
Hello.
Yeah, it's all done. It's gonna be a desktop.
Oh hell yeah. Just yeah, nice.
Oh,
I-
The social thing.
Now, I just
I
need
missed
to
them lay down.
get.
I can go back to you guys now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lay
okay.
down with you.
Thank you.
Oh no, I was just
Okay,
coming to
thank
say
you.
hi.
I'm gonna just be over
I
here.
wasn't really doing anything else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sean, what the hell?
I'm gonna
What's
do
wrong with
this.
it, Paul? What?
Sorry, that's weak.
They're streaming.
Okay.
That's some nice
Yeah.
crawling you got going
Let
on
me
there.
just.
I'm not too naked in my shot. I'm okay.
What?
Yeah,
I got to go now. There are 4 things that I. 5 things that I want to say to all of you.
Yeah?
Yeah, earbuds are like $5. You can find them
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go the fuck to sleep.
I said that already. Like,
five things. Go to sleep. Okay, that's 5 words. It's too early for me.
Well, still 5 things.
Not things.
I've been up since 11 something.
I go to sleep
And
around
it is.
midnight.
What's wrong? Damn.
I've been up for like 8 hours.
All right, here we go. I got the stories. This one is. This is a much darker story. So all the lighthearted,
Yeah.
those are our faint of
Why is he
heart.
drunk on a
This is your
Friday
chance to
or something?
leave now.
Why is this thing
You ready to go
drunk?
join?
It's only on the weekends. It's only play on the weekends. Only on the weekends.
We're doing flame recycle.
Now,
We'll catch you guys a bit later. We're gonna join some other mates.
on this server.
Alright.
all right, you take care,
Yeah,
Braxton.
sorry about that. Sorry.
Wait.
Now you're good.
It looks like one of those
See you around,
key
Preston.
circles where you play the drums.
Hey, Australian.
Start recording. There we go.
Yeah. All right.
You also
Yeah, I
Australian?
will be. I should record this.
Yeah,
I
mate.
should record this myself
Yeah.
later and make it a proper dramatic read.
Story
But-
time with fight.
no Australian.
95 fight.
Guys get. Yes, story time indeed. This is one of my favorites.
So how
Um,
do you know small?
I guess you can
Here we
kind of
see
call it
the
a
nano cheese
tosser
in their
sort.
natural habitat.
This one is called The Scarecrow
Yes, I was-
Corpse.
Hang on.
The following was emailed to me by an old friend who I haven't heard
Alright,
from in a
we're on
while.
this.
I hope he's okay. As you know, I am, or was, in training to be a coroner. My education was almost complete, and I've been working at a paid internship at a well-known medical examiner in the Washington, D.C. area. All that changed a few hours ago. I was fired from office for
What the
refusing to participate in what I believe to be a cover-up.
Those horns are
Even
way
though
too
they
much.
warned me about
What's the character?
consequences for getting for leaking any information about this case, my conscience wouldn't be clear if I kept quiet. This is something people need to know. A few days ago, we received a call from the Metro Police about a possible body discovered on the rail line. Since working here, we've responded to a few calls in the subway system.
Hey guys, I'm
First
gonna
time
pop
was
off
for
to
a
my
woman.
world and probably in my stream.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Okay, cool. I'll see you around.
See you later. My fellow Australian.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bed. I'm just gonna go to my world and end my
Now,
stream.
where was I?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
Australian?
yes, right here.
Yeah. Same here, mate.
First time was for a woman who tripped over someone's
I'm
rolling
looking forward to
suitcase while
2021
trying to
where
pass
they're,
by the
they're
escalators.
releasing,
She ended up with a
alcohol
broken neck.
Vegemite.
Ew.
Dante's fucking disgusting.
A beer
Twice we
flavored
went
Vegemite
out for a
is
heart
great.
attack, and one time was a late night mugging that went bad.
Vegemite, except,
Poor guy
for two
was
slices
stabbed
of toast, you've had
repeatedly
40
in the
standard
stomach,
drinks.
even though he handed over his watch and wallet like the mugger requested.
Inside of it.
So far, I haven't seen anything especially gory, and it was a bit of a letdown when the dispatch order said the man was found just sitting on the train.
Gotcha.
Is it wrong that I've been looking forward to a call about someone jumping or was being pushed in front of a train?
I like to have a beer with Duncan.
The interesting thing was the
Duncan's
wording
my
of the
mate.
dispatch request.
And Duncan's a
Possible
cunt, and
body.
he's great.
If the word possible is in front of
mate.
Bobby, maybe it's the
Aw.
paramedics that should be responding and not the coroner's office. When we arrived, the paramedics were already there on the scene, so we figured we would just call prematurely
Hi, Ozzy.
with a miscommunication issue. Police tapes blocked off the whole entire station system. From our view of the top of the escalators, we could tell that something wasn't right. The paramedics stood outside the door of the train cart and weren't actually doing anything except arguing and pointing at a body slumped up against a window inside. We could have left, but since it was a slow evening, we decided to take a look anyway, just to see what was going on. As we approached, I overheard some of the conversation between the two paramedics. "He's dead, right?" said the older of the two. "Dead people don't do that." Don't do what, I thought. Once they saw us, they quickly agreed that the man was dead and promptly left the scene to us. Clearly, this wasn't a call they wanted to handle. I can understand that.
What the hell are you
The police weren't much help either. I chatted with the officer on the scene, while the doc went to take a look at the man on the train. One of the detectives commented that there weren't any clear signs of foul play. The witnesses all claimed the guy just sat down like everyone else, and then he stopped breathing. Natural causes, I thought. Seemed like a pretty cut and dry case. But when I looked over my shoulder at the doc, he seemed confused. "Look at this," he said. But
Look at my friend, Dark Mia.
hello, Dark Mia. It's a cool avatar. Would you like to come and listen to a story I'm telling?
Sorry to eat Doritos quiet. Doritos.
Oh well. Anyways,
I'm gonna
so
get
look
off
at
and go to
this.
bed.
He said as I walked onto the train. As I approached, it seemed... Alright, good night. Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you.
As I approached, it seemed like the man was just napping, like a lot of train riders do when they know their stop won't be coming up for a while. "Look at what?" I asked. "His eyes." The man's head was face forwards, his chin was at his chest, so I had to kneel down to get a good look at his face. As I'm doing this, the doc is talking out loud, as he tends to do, going over a mental checklist. Not breathing, no pulse, skin is cold to the touch, approximate time of death, 6 to 8 hours ago. I'm in the aisle of the train, trying to make do with a pin flashlight since the dim lighting of the train wasn't helping things much. The man's eyes were open and they seemed to be staring at me. This isn't uncommon, so I leaned closer, hoping to figure out what the doc was wanting me to look at so I don't look like an idiot. And then he blinked. I jumped back quicker than a mongoose would jump away from a cobra. What the fuck? I tried to say. Exactly, the doc said. Gotta be a muscle spasm, right? You would think, he says. But watch this. Grabs the guy by the hair and pulls his head back. With the other hand, he waves a finger in front of the man's open eyes, which begin to follow along as the doc moves his finger from left to right. The man looked at me and blinked again. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I asked. Nope. And he's dead? As a doornail. We let the officer in charge know that we couldn't determine the cause of death on site. A full autopsy would be needed to be performed to make any kind of determination. We made a note in the report that this body had a tendency to follow you with his eyes and occasionally blink. Off the record, she told me that the whole case bothered her. The man, she said, didn't have any identification, credit card, watch, jewelry, a phone, or even money. All they found on him was a train ticket and a napkin. Once we had him back into the office, we changed into our examination coveralls. I was asked to deal with his clothing. The man watched me the whole time as I stripped him of his business suit. He even winked at me once. Also, a few odd things were noted about the clothing. First thing, that we wasn't wearing any undergarments. Normally people wear a t-shirt, boxers, briefs, or socks. This guy wore none of those things. But for some reason had two belts, one over the other. The doc switched on the tape recorder and then turned on the buzzsaw. I watched him as he performed the Y incision, and I made a mental note of his perfect technique so I could try to do it better next time. I'm telling you, the doc is a real artist. Next came the enjoyable cracking sound as the ribcage was pried open. All the while that this was happening, the man's eyes were watching us. I could almost swear he was smiling too. Over the next hour, the doc and I made some notes and did some examinations. He handed me each organ to be weighed and cataloged. There was nothing strange or out of the ordinary about any of the internal organs. Okay, said the doc. Let's take a look inside his head. I want to see what's causing the eye movement. Listen, do you mind if we tape the eyes shut first? I'm trying to remain as professional as I can, but the constant blinking is unnerving me. The doc doesn't mind, so I took some surgical tape and worked up the courage to manually close the guy's eyelids and tape them down. Immediately, they start moving fast. His whole face was convulsing and contorting itself, trying to break free of the tape. I don't think he likes that, the doc said, and he removed the tape from the man's eyes. The violent motion stopped right away, and he winked at the doc. This isn't natural, I said. There's a scientific reason for everything. It's our job to find it, Doc said. But he actually fought to get the tape off his eyes. I guess he wants to watch. Now, do you want to remove the skull, or should I? I'm too shaken to handle the equipment, so I watch as Doc work the saw around the man's skull. The bastard is smiling, I'm sure of it. He's staring at me and blinking his left eye and his right eye back and forth. I hear the familiar popping sound as the top of the skull is being pulled off. Whoa. Okay, the doc says. What is it?
Oh.
Dear God. But how much did you guys miss?
You disappeared for a second.
Where did I leave off?
Just when you were He opened the skull and saw something inside. Or something.
Oh,
Reaction there.
okay, so yeah. The skull was popped open, and then the doc said, "Whoa, okay. What is it?" I asked as I'm walking around to see what he's seeing. The man's eyes follow me, of course. I might have to call this one in. Dear God, the brain is missing. Doc? I asked. Not now. Pack up and go home. I'll finish cleaning this up, he says as he's already dialing a number on the phone. But just go. I'll call you later. It isn't a request. I know when to shut up and listen. I make my way to the door, knowing that the man is still staring at me. Say anything to anyone. The doc never called me back. Every time I tried to reach him, it went straight to voicemail. I tried to go back the next day. Security wouldn't let me in the building. They said I was to await further instructions while on paid leave. That was 4 days ago. This morning I hear a knock on my door. It's a man who said he's with the medical examiner's office, but he looks like he's from the CIA, FBI, NSA, or some other three-letter agency. He asked me if he could come in to talk. I opened the door to let him in, and as I do, I noticed two similarly dressed men sitting in a black Suburban across the street. The folder he hands me is the case for the John Doe that was found on the train. All the notes about the eye movement and blinking were removed. There was no mention of anything out of the ordinary, let alone a missing brain. It's already got the doc's signature on it, and this man wants me to sign it as well. I tried to tell him that the file is wrong, but he puts a hand up as it made me stop from speaking. This is how it happened. Sign it. I asked him what happened to the doc. I want to know why I haven't heard from him. He said that the doc had been let go. The way he said it made me think the worst. I refused to sign it and asked to speak with the director of the medical examiner's office. The man informs me that that would be impossible and that I am to be fired. But fired wasn't the word he used. The word he used was terminated. He leaves when I ask him to go, but he warns me that mentioning this to anyone would have serious consequences. As soon as the door closed behind him, I packed a bag and took off. I saw a black Suburban was parked at the end of my street, and I might just be paranoid, but I think it pulled out after I did. Just in case I was being followed, I changed directions several times. When I felt it was safe enough, I pulled into a nearby residential neighborhood and found an open Wi-Fi signal. I think something strange is going on in DC, maybe elsewhere as well. I don't know what it could be, but I feel like the doc and I stumbled onto something we weren't supposed to know about, and now we're in danger. I found the doc's home number. When I called it went straight to voicemail. I tried to leave a message for him, but the line went dead once I started talking. If someone is monitoring my phone calls, then it's possible my car is bugged. Again, maybe I'm just paranoid or crazy. Maybe there's a completely logical explanation for the scarecrow corpse that stares, blinks, winks, and smiles. I can't imagine how anything like that could exist or why. I'm scared. Really, really scared. I decided the only thing to do would be to write this and email it out to everyone I know. Hopefully, this information will make it to someone. If you receive this and haven't heard back from me by tomorrow, then I'm probably dead. And you'll know that what I've written is true.
Jeez. And that was
Yeah.
story time with SDF-95 Fighter.
That was the
Twitch
Scarecrow
streamer
corpse.
extraordinaire. And TikToker.
Hell yeah.